Welcome to the Benjamin Zulu Show. You know, someone made a comment and said that this is Zulu University. They are learning a lot, and for sure, there's a lot of learning, unlearning, and relearning, and we keep on doing it. And so thank you so much for joining in. And this lovely evening, we want to talk about 3 wrong kind of people you need to avoid while dating. And it is important to note that not every person is meant for you in this life. And so there are some people you need to avoid. And when they come your way, you need to run for your life. For the married people, the Lord bless you. The Lord keep you well. But I want to speak to those young people who are dating. What kind of these things you need to look at while you are dating? Who is that person you don't need to date? The first date, she comes for that coffee date. Oh, Benjamin.
So remember, when you begin to search and you find a single person who you are attracted to, your hopes come up. They could be the one. You are pushed by the impatience to arrive and settle. The process of searching is uncomfortable. You do it because of necessity. When you want to purchase a plot, you can't wait to find the ideal package and go. When you're looking for anything, you're looking for the end. You're looking forward to the finishing. You've been preparing for this. Life itself is usually a preparation for the next. Preparation for the next. The definition of life, although many people are anticipating arrival, really, life is preparations. Once you arrive where you prepare for the next. You prepare for the next. When you are year 1, you're preparing for year 2. When you're year 2, preparing for year 3. When you finish this exam, you get the other. When you finish this level, and all that. It's by the time you catch the vibe that there's no really arriving. You're supposed to enjoy the current moment as you prepare for the next. They're supposed to go together. Don't postpone enjoyment, thinking the next one will be more enjoyable. This guy called Eckhart Tolle said the reason we forfeit the present, current moment, here we are now, is thinking the next one will be more pleasurable, the better. Thinking next year will be better. And no, I'll do that in my next birthday. No, I'll do that next. So we end up missing the whole life. Think this moment builds on the next. Why you're not supposed to go to the extreme of forgetting the future and living for today, and you're not planning or strategizing or thinking about consequences. No. Neither are you supposed to behave like there is nothing to enjoy here. And you become sad, pessimist, waiting for things to improve, to get better. No. You're supposed to combine the two. Say, I'm grateful for the now, for being here, for meeting today. Enjoy the fun and go with it and learn what you can learn. Enjoy and flow. Relax and rest in that moment. At the same time, you have at the back of your mind, there is tomorrow. So you're preparing, building, learning, looking forward, strategizing, envisioning, aligning for tomorrow while you're still fully in today. That's the mix of life. Fully here and fully there. It's a demand, but you must practice it. Remember, your personality is strongly biased towards one of those two. Strongly biased. Mine is biased towards the next, the new, the novelty. So it's like a fluid energy on the move. And other people's energy is based on the now, established, settled, in touch, engaged. Those people are usually best administrators. And my wife is one like that. She runs admin's roles until I am amazed. Many of them that required a lot of multi-directional thinking because there are many things that moving parts. Me, I'm leadership oriented, innovating the new, exploring new dimensions and dreaming up there. While I can also manage, she can also dream, but where is our strength? So you are likely to come to dating with a lot of bias towards settling, getting done with it, or with a lot of exploratory itch to find the next, experience a new one, find another one. That is my bias. You may come from this bias of wanting to just engage and settle and find. If you do not have back end Remember, we said you must study yourself. You are the equipment you're working with. Please study. Don't come to the market blind. Get something about your personality. Get to know what you are leaning. Get to know. Otherwise, you'll always be disadvantaged. Working with a tool you don't know. Even when you're a good driver, every time you drive another car, different car, you take a while to adjust to it. It's the same. It's also automatic.
Yeah.
It's also right driven. It can even be the same engine size. But where the brakes grip, how far you need to start braking, what is the acceleration pace? Even cars, you take time to learn them. Have you taken time to learn you, or you're just used to you? You know, there's a difference in getting used because of staying for long or learning consciously. Understanding how you operate, the mechanics of your personality, how you're likely to react. I hope by the time you arrive here, you have done what we said in our 20s. You push yourself to the limit to see where your limits are. Okay? Until you push past what you're used to, will you know what is possible? Sit up, try to work 18 hours a day. Try to work a day straight, another one. Try to travel far. When you are 20,
Yes.
try everything, even when you get a chance, jump at it. You have little to lose. In fact, it's only in 20s where you have an unfair advantage. Society excuses wildness when you're in your 20s. And you're allowed to be clueless, although you have showed up. When you meet a group of boys and they showed up at your office and say, yeah, we are here to help, we do vacuuming, then you see one of them who is totally clueless. That, oh, this one was our friend. He just came along to learn. You excuse it.
Yeah.
These are just young children now. You don't damage my things.
Yes.
So these boys, they're just learning anyway. What if these were grown-ups like us? If you damage my things, you pay. We are going to court.
Yes.
So we understand when people are in their 20s and they're experimenting. And I saw one guy when he drove near an elderly guy, driving a very fast machine. So he was looking for challenge for them to run. No, the older guy tell him, keep going. At some age, we don't run to prove a point. When you're 20s, you want to show something. Let me show you a point, my friend. Show things. When you mature, maybe you're carrying your family. If you're carrying your daughter.
Yeah.
Maybe you are digesting an issue. Maybe this is just a sightseeing. It's just here to relax.
Yeah.
When you see a real mature man moving quickly, he has a reason. It's not to prove any point. When I was young on the road, I identified cultures with the cars. Many cars drive very differently. And I respected the Mercedes guys. I realized most Mercedes, especially the high-end Mercedes, they have nothing to prove. They tint the windows, you don't know who it is.
Yeah.
They never lower the window to pass anything, to pass message, nothing. So, there's a Mercedes called AMD. You see it on the road, a small one.
Yes.
But very classy and suave. But the way they move, it's a very swift machine. But they have nothing to prove. It's not loud exhaust pipes. It's just quiet and just passes. Nothing to prove. And I learned a culture with those guys. They live their life. They just do their thing. They're confident.
Yeah.
But if a Subaru guy passes you, he must pass a signal to make sure you have recognized.
And by the way, we have no issues with Subaru guys.
With a very loud exhaust, lest you miss that he passed by. So these are just generalities we are not saying.
They say there's this Subaru called Impreza. They want to impress her.
So I realized cultures. There's a lot of cultures with different vehicles. And I realized a lot of these guys driving big SUVs don't push pedestrians when they're crossing. But the tiny small guys on the motorcycles harass pedestrians. So I noticed the Land Cruiser guy, the Range Rover guy,
There's
is
no
stepping
doubt.
very far
Yes.
to let you walk.
Yeah.
I'm saying this is amazing. You don't feel threatened. The Pro Box guy is here. Almost hitting you. You know? And I noticed, what is the difference? The guy is driving a 10 million machine, surely has heavier business to transact.
Yes.
This other character is probably just a driver And he will harass you. And I also noticed the truck, these big transit vehicles. Those guys are very conscious. They're very present. Actually, they give you way. Whenever there's a conflict, the truck guy never pushes. He lets you pass. If there's a narrow place, there's a narrow passage. I've noticed a very funny observation. They always give way. You guys pass, then they go. I said, what is this? A lot of courtesy with the big truck guys. And if you're stuck on the road, they're always willing to help. They're checking, are you okay? They have a very different culture. And it's like a culture thing. Of course, we are not saying uniformly all of them, but generally that's their trend. You know, generally that's their trend. So, you are coming to dating, coming from having your cultures, groupings, which inspire your expectations and your timings. I want to tell you that every time you meet a person who is single, many people are married, they are not searching. When you meet a single person who also says they are searching and you find them attractive, you will be very tempted to hope this is the one. But I want to warn you of 3 categories of them.
Yes.
First category is called the unqualified. They are the people who are single and sexy, attractive, you like each other, you flow in conversations, but they are not on your level. When you talk about qualified, it means there are qualifications, isn't it? There were standards, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was telling you that I'm hoping before you arrived here, you pushed yourself to limits and you knew now what you can't get, what you can't do. What you can't put up with. Let it be at your fingertips. What is intolerable for you? Really, if you don't know that, don't attempt dating. You'll end up marrying somebody who has intolerable things because you did not know what is intolerable for you. When my car was new, I tried every brake pads. Some could not even finish 2 days. My style of driving, there are brake pads I can't work with. And they are very rampant in the market. Other guys, it works for them. Sometimes I'm changing brake pads like 10 times before my wife changes once. Your personality affects everything you have.
Yeah.
For me, I have to use the very finest in the market.
Yeah.
Because I'm aggressive. She's gentle. So even if we put the normal brake pads, they will take long.
Yeah, you apply brakes.
She will hardly put any mileage. Sometimes I saw my brakes on fire. I stop and the whole place has smoke. So I roll out that brake. I say, this one, for me, no. So I try until, I hope you have tried your personality out until you know what can't work for you. I hope so. I had arrived at that point knowing if a person has no innate coming from inside curiosity, we can't move. Because I comment about things that are unrelated. One thing the mother of Elon Musk said, even when the boy was 3, he could engage her. And his arguments made sense. She would pick this to fry fish, and he will ask, yesterday you had used this for fish, why didn't you use this like the other time? Now she has no time to explain that fish was small, this frying pan is bigger. Okay, so you see this one, don't worry, Junior, just go wait, I'll bring. So, she's just lazy to wash that pan. She's using the one that is not. So sometimes you don't have to explain to a child. But their questions are sensible. She said later on the boy developed generalized curiosity. Generalized. He would read anything, anything. Then she said a point that I want to pass to all of us. I want you to have generalized curiosity. Does not mean you're scattered. There's a period of your life where you should not be too focused. Exploration periods, especially prior to getting married, supposed to be so wide in your reading. Stop looking for that one book that will change your life. You know, people keep looking for shortcuts. What is that one book? Change my one book. You can't change your life with one book.
Yeah.
There are books that will be very eye-opening for you in a certain dimension, but there's no one book that will cover everything. Let me tell you the truth. Books written by people are narrow and limited. It's only the book that was written by God that will touch your life all around, and you can never finish it. You read and you come back there. The wonderful thing I've found with that book is one verse can go deep and start opening to other dimensions and changing the fiber of your being. Just one verse.
Yeah.
Because it's a living book, it's being backed by a person. who is alive and who is talking to you through it. It's not really the book, it's just a portal to a relationship. But natural books, the book I write, the one you write, that's why you write many, to touch on many topics.
Yeah.
That's why you need a whole library to touch on many areas.
Yes.
Read widely so that you can get the advantage Elon Musk came to utilize later. Although we don't have many people to put it in words. They said, because he read so widely, he was able to make novel connections between previously unrelated ideas, like solar and cars. You know, being so passionate about not polluting the environment, being so passionate about how, you know, fossil fuel can get exhausted, being so passionate about, and at the same time, classic cars, they may seem unrelated until it gets the connection. Solar power, electric, okay, all right. So by that time it was not done, it was criticized. They said, what do I lose by trying? Today he's there with the Tesla.
Yeah.
A classic car that does not pollute environment, fully electric, but it was wide reading that made novel connections. Be widely curious. Now, the unqualified are unqualified because they have not developed to this dimension of knowing what works for them, what doesn't work for them. That's one. Number two, they're unqualified for you because the degree of, the dimension of ambition for you, the scale is too high for them. Let me repeat that. Sometimes what you want seems, they cannot wrap their head around why are you talking about owning 100 acres of land. They can't picture it in their head. They have no problem with it. They just can't see it. You know, I wanted to plant macadamia. Let's say Willie has a passion with macadamia or avocado. He was exposed to exportation of those cash crops. And he realized, this is something I can do. So he harbors that vision. And although right now he does not even have single macadamia tree, he wants to do that on large scale someday. And he has been driving around macadamia plants, looking around just the farms, just researching. And every time you check his phone, there's a page about macadamia export. Every time.
Macadamia.
You know, I saw guys called the macadamia people. So them, that's them. You know, and you may find for you, you have burnt so much even with export or selling luxury cars. A former classmate who told me they sell premium Lexus, not these are the small Lexus, the premium ones.
Yes.
So the ones that come for class and particular kind of people. So her passion was there to refine that market. Me, I've never thought, maybe I can drive one, but that idea of selling them, it's not in me. But it's not the particular trade. It's the scale of dream. Because to stock those kind of cars, one of them is 20 million. So by the time we have 10 of them in stock, what kind of security are we talking about?
Yes.
Which area are you living? That's a whole lifestyle.
Yes.
So there's a person who can describe what you're trying to dream about, and sincerely speaking, they find it like a motivational talk. You know, there are people who try to inspire you.
Yes.
By telling you success stories. Plucked from some place.
Yes.
And you're there smiling, listening to success stories. But it's not getting in. And so, you know they are unqualified by two ways. They have not developed themselves to a degree that they have a thorough understanding of who they are, what they want. They don't have clear parameters of what they're looking for. It's just emotional excitement and they're happy they met somebody, you are getting along. Or the level you are talking at, they can't engage. Swallow that.
Wow.
Swallow that. That's important. Many people ignore that part because of the chemistry. Sometimes chemistry is very powerful. So what's the problem with those relationships? If this person has not self-evolved to a point where they have their clear parameters, clear understanding of their personality, what they're looking for. When they asked, one time I visited a friend when we were young, sodas were rare. You could not get this soda you guys take for granted. I was asked which soda I take. I said any, because I didn't want to commit to one type.
Then you told it's not there.
So now they are confused. All of them are there. So oh, now with that security, let's start with Fanta. So
you're playing safe.
some people are dating saying any. Which type of people are you looking for?
Anyone comes my way. God-fearing.
There are people who come not having sat with themselves to determine their appetites, not having stayed with themselves to know what doesn't work, not having stayed with themselves to know what will tire them easily. Some things will tire you. The problem with these kind of people, if you go on and date them, that you become their mentor, you become their parent figure. Because they're below you, you're trying to bring them up. You know you are seeing potential. Good people always see potential. So you're trying to build potential and telling them how they can think bigger, what they can do. And sometimes they try things, and congratulations. But what is happening there? Teacher, student. They become dependent on you.
Yeah.
And if you don't realize the problems is levels, they are unqualified for what you're looking for. You go on and establish permanent relationship. They are thinking we will grow together. One girl was trying to sell that philosophy to me. She'd wasted her years saying, you know, I was coming from this philosophy that we can grow together. Say, you grow together when you start in the same place, the same level. Are we together?
Yeah.
Even when you marry, right, you grow together. But you must be starting from the same level. Not mentorship. Don't marry your mentee, Don't marry your protege. Yeah. Marry a colleague, you help each other on the same level. Not this way. Not this way. Marry a person who can engage, lock with your thinking. You throw an idea and they're like, I get it. Where are you going with that? It is so enjoyable when I can throw a very raw and refined idea and my wife can give it shape. Man, there's nothing as satisfying as that. Just a wild idea. That this idea I was thinking, what about something? What about a show in Mombasa? You know? And you have a friend in Mombasa called, oh, by the way, come to think of, how about if you ask him the conditions there? How about if you try to throw, oh, by the way, the idea was locked in my head without shape, without possibility. So I threw it up in frustration. I was thinking about doing that. Oh, okay, what about, do you know I needed somebody who, although we are helping each other, we are coming from the same level. They have done their own internal work, background work, to come to a place where they are ready to work. Those who argue against this, they say nobody is perfect. It's not about perfection, it's about maturity. Marriage requires a minimum level of maturity to bear it. Are we together?
True.
So those who argue, you can find a 21-year-old who is better than 30-year-old. You're not comparing degrees of maturity. We're comparing the requisite minimum degree of functioning maturity to function in marriage. When they say we want a person who is for example, 5 feet tall. This cloth is made for 5 feet tall. You can say, no, don't worry about age. 5 feet tall, you can find. Me, I'm not comparing ages. I'm comparing this kind of height. Maturity has degrees, and there's a degree of maturity for marriage to function and last. You need to have it. And when did psychology come in? We said mental development has phases and sequences, and your brain is the last organ to grow in you. It closes, finishes maturing at 25. There's a degree of maturity you can't attain before then. But even when it has attained 25 and you don't exert yourself in the gym, the brain is a muscle. You don't think, you don't like learning, facing challenges, being reflective, accepting feedback. You don't like handling your ego, you are defensive. You still remain immature even at 35. Is that hard to understand? We must keep showing people the basics of philosophy, because many of them are blurting out a lot of foolishness. I know the problem with the fools is that it's only you who is disturbed by their foolishness. Them, they're not aware of it. They say there are two things that are they punish the other guys, not you. Those who need a deodorant and those who need common sense. People with smelly bodies don't feel it themselves. It's everybody who is harassed. People who need common sense don't feel it themselves. So when I was telling people, somebody comes there and say, don't say we should be careful before we marry. You can still marry right and get left. Marrying now officially is not a... They said, you see, you're confusing two things. And it's very difficult to explain basics to a grown-up. We know smoking causes lung cancer, but you can still get lung cancer without smoking. And you can smoke without getting lung cancer. Those things are all of them true. Are we together?
Yeah.
But do they cancel the fact that smoking increases the chances of lung cancer? No. So you can get these things. And I was telling, now, if you already understand that, why don't you understand that following process can reduces the chance of getting scammed when you're buying a car or plot? Follow process, search fast, don't pay before, get who you know. Now, you can still get scammed, even when you're, so no problem, don't bother checking, just pay. Would you think like that?
No.
So, although you can still do right and still get scammed, but when you have done due diligence, sometimes even the insurance helps you. Even your own conscience says, I done my part. The unqualified will tire you. If you marry them with time, you carry them. You have to bend. You have to compromise. It's you to come down to lift them. When you're walking with a child, the child can't move past their pace. It's you to slow down. When you're talking with a child, they can't come up. It's you to go down. When you go with a person who's below you, it's you to go down to their level. And with the time, you start living when you are bent, compromising, squeezing, coming down, not doing your best, not outshining, and you are accused every time, like you're intimidating. The unqualified will tire you because you have to remain small to stay with them. And they are sincere. They may not even be malicious people. The second group is called the disordered. Disordered people have genuine disalignment with reality. Be careful, Willie. There are some people who are depressed because they are disaligned. But when you find a depressed person, you come with compassion and mercy, isn't it? And it's human to be sorry when somebody is going through depression, psychological, mental health issues. Are we together?
At that point, we're together.
So I understand you when you come with a lot of compassion, trying to help them see therapists.
Yeah.
But there are people who are depressed because they're disordered. They are disaligned with reality and they don't want to be warned. They don't want to correct. And we're not saying anything about depression in general. We are saying sometimes people are batting their head against life because they are disordered and they can't agree. Now, when you say disordered, I'm not saying people are just injured. We are saying people who have broken history which they have not tied together, broken, pain, broken hearts they are not yet mended, broken past they are yet to reconcile with, broken attitudes that are flipped from here to there out of control, broken feelings and emotional patterns that today they exist, and they have not gone back to stitch back their life together. People are broken language, they speak anything anyhow, they broken anger, anything they flare up and tell you of and insult you. These are disordered because they are broken past, broken lives, broken mindset, and they are yet to stitch. All of us have gone through breaking situations. Only that went back for corrective surgery and stitched together. Now we are cohesive, coherent. We are not perfect, but we are in charge. We have taken back control. Be careful with people who are inconsistent. You shall recognize them because they flip from positive to negative, unstable, silence, blocking, unblocking, shutting you down, disappearing, romantic, cold, and engaged, disengaged, said this, changed the other. There are very many, but their signs are glaring like this. Like this. Today they are into you, tomorrow they're not into you. The moment you see that inconsistency, stop trying to rescue and mend their life. Remove yourself. Grown-ups can only help themselves. You can only help those who are inviting genuine help, not using help as a bait to arrest you, because they frequently realize you're a good-hearted person. And if you think you're helping them, you can stay. If you stay with this kind of people, the consequence, the bad part is that they'll break you as well. They'll depress you, shatter your life, damage your self-esteem, break your spirit. They'll project to you what is in them. They'll talk to you rudely and talk you down and insult you, dismiss you, because that's what they're feeling. The inferno in them, they'll pour it on you. You'll be insulted things you can't spell. Things you can't report to me, You're trying to tell a friend what happened, but you tell them, that part, I can't give you details. Because even you, the things you are called.
Can't mention them.
They'll break you. The last group is the potential. But not perfect. They don't fit. So these people are okay, they're mature, but there's no chemistry. If you marry a person who you flow well because as leaders, you rhyme, but there's no chemistry, it will be a marriage of convenience and it will be boring. it will be boring. You are okay, both of you are single, you're a character. Many people, usually it is the outsiders who will have suggested it, because the way you look fit for each other.
Yeah.
But the chemistry between you, only you can feel it. And you are not sincere with yourself to realize, although we look outwardly fit, I don't feel it. You know, sometimes you find yourself helping yourself to feel a person. You know, trying to imagine them this way. Just Many people marry that way because they were tired of searching. This person has no glaring weaknesses. They are working. So you live parallel lives. Many people are married and living parallel lives. They just don't have the vibe, the chemistry. Those three types of people, we say the first one, they'll tire you, exhaust you, because you carry them. They're below you. The next group, they'll break you because they're broken. So that group, they're boring. You'll be alone. There is no vibe. You have children, you are there, and you don't remember, oh, so how was your day? You know, don't miss them. There's no spark. Those are the three dangers, yes.
Wow, thank you so much. Well, those three categories, if you are out there and you're searching, you need to be very careful. When they come your way, you need to ask yourself, is he or she disordered, unqualified, potential but not perfect, because there is no chemistry. Very dangerous. And remember, marriage is a lifetime commitment. It is not a try and error thing. It is lifetime commitment. So it is very important to understand these things. So thank you so much for joining me. My name is Willie Kinyash, and see you on the